How's Matthew always stoned? That's his name.
Hello, folks. Welcome to Trivia, History, and a Cover. Today we're going to talk about aviation disasters again, but the cultural influence of 1977. What happened that year? That's the year Star Wars came out. Smokey and the Bandit was in the theaters. Elvis passed away that August. I was 6 years old. And the band Lynyrd Skynyrd was on their tour for their album Street Survivors. And that's who the band is I'm talking about tonight. Lynyrd Skynyrd. Lynyrd Skynyrd out of Florida, one of their biggest hits, Sweet Home Alabama. Which, anyway, band had been around in the 70s. Just tore up the 70s. They were awesome. If you've never heard of Lynyrd Skynyrd, everybody's heard of Lynyrd Skynyrd. Anyway, in 1977, in October of that year, while they were on the Street Survivors tour, a young lady named Cassie Gaines was a backup singer for the band, and her brother, Steve Gaines, who she got the job for as a guitarist for the band, was on their way to Greenville, South Carolina, to play at the Greenville Memorial Auditorium, which if I leave this room right now, go downstairs and get in my truck and drive 15 minutes that way, I'll be where the Greenville Memorial Auditorium was. And it is now the Bond Secure Wellness Center. Anyway, on the flight from Lakeland, Florida, on their Conair CV20, they saw about 10-foot sparks coming out of one of the engines. A little bit of a concern for that. Apparently, Cassie Gaines booked a flight on a commercial flight, and the rest of the band said they weren't. A lot of the band said they weren't flying on that plane no more. We were no. A little history on that plane and the crew. Aerosmith was going to charter that flight for their tour, and they turned it down because it kind of failed inspection. They didn't like what they saw, and then they saw the pilots passing a bottle of bourbon during the inspection to see if they were going to use it for a charter, so they didn't. But Ronnie Van Zant, lead singer of Lynyrd Skynyrd, convinced everybody that, they're going to Louisiana, to Baton Rouge, play in front of 10,000 people on their next stop, and we all needed to get there, and we all needed to make sure this would be the last time we use that plane. And some of the band members, survivors, even said that they were celebrating a little bit that night because it was the last time they were going to be on that plane. Well, after their show at the auditorium, which is also where I went and seen my first live concert at Rick Springfield in 1981. I was 10. They flew out of GSP, or Greenville-Spartanburg area, Greenville area. I'm actually not sure of the airport. It could have been GSP. It could have been Greenville Municipal Airport. It probably was the Greenville Airport. They flew out, and they did not have enough fuel to make their destination. The pilots radioed that in, and while they were trying to switch oil from one engine to the other, the engine sparked again. Billy Powell and Artemis Powell went to the cockpit and concerned because, there's sparks coming out of one of the two engines on this airplane that they are in. And the pilot told them that they were just switching oil, from one engine to the other. And, they were in an emergency situation because they'd realized they didn't have enough fuel already to make it to their destination, was looking for a place to land, an airfield. Instead of the oil being switched from engine to engine, it is believed that they did a fuel dump. And then they overflew the landing strip they were supposed to land on the emergency landing They banked the plane completely, turned, trying to make it back to that airfield, and gravity took over. The plane started to descend. It started to hit the treetops at about 90 miles an hour. As the plane descended into the forest in Gillsburg, Mississippi, the wings were ripped off. The cockpit folded underneath the aircraft, taking the two pilots instantly. Cassie Gaines was thrown from the aircraft. Ronnie Van Zant, Dean Kilpatrick, and Steve Gaines were also lost that night, pretty much instantly. Upon impact, Artemis Powell, former Marine, who had also told everyone in the aircraft before they went down to extinguish their cigarettes and turn all the lights off so they conserve battery power if needed. The pilots had radioed in their last transmission at 6:42 p.m. shortly after they crashed. But Artemis Powell got up, got himself together. He was a former Marine. A Marine, made it to the rank of Sergeant in the Marine Corps. Well, he was never really a former Marine. He's a former active duty Marine. Made his way to a farm nearby and walked about 45 minutes. And a young man by the name of Jimmy Mote was messing with his cattle that night, herding them in, getting them ready for something, and saw Artemis Powell approach and fired a warning shot at him. He did not shoot him. Some reports said he did, but he did not. And as the shot went off, Artemis Powell yelled out, "Plane crash." The town of Gillsburg, Mississippi came together and went out there, and law enforcement, EMTs, Coast Guard aircraft was involved to get the survivors out and the remains of the ones that were lost. That year we lost Ronnie Van Zant, Steve Gaines, Cassie Gaines, Dean Kilpatrick, the two pilots. And in August of that year, we lost the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. But like I said earlier, Smokey and the Bandit was in the theaters, and so was Star Wars. There's another band running around in the 70s and paying their dues. Little brother, another younger brother, another brother story with the aviation disasters. It's getting a little coincidental here. Donnie Van Zant, 38 Special. Those guys ruled the 80s. You turn the radio on in the 80s when I was a kid coming up. 38 Special was always on the radio. Always. Listen to a couple hours, you'll hear 38 Special. Something by them. Hold on loosely, something. If you don't know who 38 Special is, check them out. Well, after the crash, Lynyrd Skynyrd pretty much went to pieces. And a lot of the band members couldn't never get over that trauma. 38 Special went out on tour and tore up the 80s. They ruled it. Then in 1997, the Gringle Memorial Auditorium, a place where I've seen many wrestling matches, many live concerts, Hank Williams Jr., Rick Springfield, Motley Crue, all sorts of people, Rat, David Lee Roth, was torn down. But in 1992, a reformed Lynyrd Skynyrd with Johnny Van Zant, the other brother, finally played that Baton Rouge show. I think that's kind of full circle there. And that's kind of cool. But Lynyrd Skynyrd gave the world some great music. And next we're going to cover, well, I'm not going to cover, Xzempt is going to cover. Check out xzemptrocks.com. Check these guys out. These guys are awesome. They're an awesome band. They are coming to Wild Country soon. I think in January. So get ready for that. And here's On the Hunt, written by Ronnie Van Zant, dedicated to those who passed on that crash. That had to be a horrific night. Here's Xzempt.
I said, baby, mama, I don't know your name. I said, baby, I should I can play a game. It'd be nice when we leave the holiday. See you hanging round. You wanna ride in my big black car, baby? Wanna go uptown? I know you are, baby. I know what they call you, girl. Never put you down, baby. Just like you, baby, I'm on the hunt. I said, baby, people gon' talk about it, you and me, but let me tell you one thing, mama. I sugar I do is to please. If you want some loving, baby, oh, I'm your man. And all them high-falutin society people don't care if they don't understand. Well, I know you are, baby. I know what they call you, girl. Never put you down, baby. Just like you, baby, I'm on the hunt. Oh, and every night I'm hunting. There's a two things, son. There's a two things that you should know. In these two things, baby, oh, you must take pride. And that's a horse, mule, and a woman, yeah. They both will give you a ride, Mr. Sister. I know you are, baby. I know what they call you, girl. Never put you down, baby. Just like you. Always touch it. I'm not. Oh, baby, I'm hunting. And you never put you down. You know what I mean?
Thank you for watching. Tune in next week and tune in every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday for new releases. And Sundays we'll have a bunch of bands. I'll put them together, have a little kind of a virtual concert, just a bunch of different bands recorded live. Tuesday is just what this is, a little trivia, a little history, and a cover. And Thursday will be a couple of releases of your favorite bands recorded live that I've recorded. Thank you for watching the Upstate Music Channel. Like and subscribe. And tell your friends about it. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching Upstate Music Channel.
Thank you for watching Upstate Music Channel.
Yeah, thank you for watching the Upstate Music Channel.
Thank you so much. Y'all watched the Upstate Music Channel.